All right, welcome back to TYT Sports Champions League coverage, as promised by yours truly. A couple of games that I want to talk about specifically, but this one's going to be firstly discussing Tottenham Hotspur. They go to the back-to-back Champions League winners, Real Madrid, go into their backyard and hold their own. They come away with a point. Probably could have won it, even though I think they were very lucky not to leave with nothing, considering how many masterful saves Hugo Lloris made, specifically against Ronaldo, against one from Benzema from, it must have been 3 yards out, and I'm simply amazed that he was able to even get anything on it. His leg, he dove one way, threw his leg back the other way. It could go down maybe well with David De Gea's save against Liverpool recently is one of the best saves I've seen, and they both happened to happen in the past week or so. But to discuss, so Harry Kane, it wasn't really his goal, it was like a Varane/own goal, but he makes that run across Varane. He was unlucky not to score earlier when he went up and smashed a header that was just tipped over the bar. So they came up against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, and even after the game was level, they weren't just sitting back. They had several chances. They moved the ball well in the final third, and I was actually very impressed with how they weren't just willing to settle for the point. Now, as I mentioned, Ronaldo, very unlucky on a couple of occasions, proving once again that the guy's not slowing down. There was one specific movement, I'm sure you're very familiar with it if you watched the game, dances by two, then knocks it round Aurier, and then smacks a shot that's saved. Like, that's Ronaldo that I remember doing that at Manchester United, and here he is 6, 7, 8 years on, still doing it consistently, and he's still going to be a problem. So he obviously scored the penalty kick, which brought Real Madrid back level. Is it a penalty kick? Yes, of course. Aurier should not be making that tackle in the box. I'm sure Cruz was more likely going to score at that point. It was pretty much an open goal, but the way Lloris was playing, who knows? The guy was just performing miracles. So my takeaways is that Tottenham, I've done now, I think every Champions League week I've talked about Tottenham because they continuously impress me. This is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum to what we've seen last year, where they were just disgraceful in the Champions League, up against far weaker opponents. And here they are in a group with Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, and they're playing well. They're on that same playing field. They've got every possibility of finishing top, if not second in this group. And Real Madrid are going to have to think about the way they approach the game at at Wembley, coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'm excited to look forward to that game. Hopefully Gareth Bale, I know that unable to play in this specific instance, but it would have been nice to see him up against his old club. But we know Luka Modric, of course, was a Tottenham superstar also. So that siren from the New York streets is bringing this clip to a close. Stay tuned for the other clip where I discuss, you know, the small thing about how I said Liverpool were going to struggle and then they win 7-0. Yeah, remember that? Ciao.